Okay, so we're back in Chofetz Chaim, A Lesson a Day by Rabbi Yisroel Meir Kagan. So from his book Sefer Chofetz Chaim, this lesson is titled Slander, and this is day 31. So all forms of Lashon Hara are prohibited even when the information is true and accurate. So only in very specific circumstances is it permissible to say something that would otherwise be considered Lashon Hara. This will be discussed later. So slander, referred to as Hotza'at Shemra, so literally spreading a bad name or bringing a bad name, is worse than Lashon Hara, which is derogatory but true. So to relate derogatory information is essentially true, but includes other exaggerations or even slight alterings of facts is considered Hotza'at Shemra. Okay, so in the margin it says, one who speaks ill of others becomes contemptible even to those who listen to his evil talk and accepted it as truth. So from his book Sefer Shmirat HaLashon, this lesson is called The Quality of Peace. So it says, through Shmirat HaLashon, or guarding your speech, through Shmirat HaLashon, one is blessed with the precious quality of peace. Shalom. By refraining from speaking ill of others, one ensures that he will not be the object of their enmity. To the contrary, others will love him and confide in him and surely will not speak ill of him. So if people see that you don't involve yourself in those discussions and you try to stay away from those details and stuff like that, and you give people the benefit of the doubt, and that's actually a very good trait to have. Judaism praises that, is when you give people the benefit of the doubt. That if they do something, it's unintentional, it's a mistake, it's a misunderstanding, something like that. It was somebody else, somebody was lying about them, there's a bunch of different ways that could unfold. But basically that if you give people the benefit of the doubt, that's a very praiseworthy thing. So it says here that people will basically confide in you if you're guarding your speech and you're not like spreading things, because then obviously people can, it's just like, I'm sure a lot of people see this, but you see coworkers where they chit chat about, people in their lives and stuff like that. And it's like, it drives wedges when those people find out that they've been talked about, right? And sometimes it can burn bridges. And if you refrain from doing that kind of stuff, it solidifies relationships. So just think of the one thing that comes to my mind is like, if you have a relationship where you've never spoken badly about that person to somebody else ever, that relationship is going to be more solid than if, there's a whole bunch of chit chat about every little thing that they do or something like that, and it gets around, and I heard that you did this and that, and, it gets it just tears people apart, and it's little by little, it's chiseling away at the stones and what's solid and secure in that person's life. And then people don't have the room or space to do teshuvah or turn around and change the direction of their life, even if they want to. Sometimes they can't even do that because their reputation is so tainted. But anyway, continuing, by refraining from speaking ill of others, one ensures that he will not be the object of their enmity. To the contrary, others will love him and confide in him and surely will not speak ill of him. So peace is precious, for in its merit, God does not allow Satan to harm the Jewish people, even when idolatry is among them. Bamidbar Rabbah 11:16. So one who accuses himself to speaking favorably of others merits that God refers to him as Shalom, peace, which is one of God's own names. God has many names. As a matter of fact, the Torah, which is 4,805 letters, is an entire name of God. But one of the names of God is Shalom. Okay? So conversely, with regard to the gossiper, the sages state one who dines with his fellow and then speaks disparagingly of him is referred to by the Holy One, blessed be he, as Ra, evil. As it is written, deceit in the heart of those who plot evil. Mishlei, that's Proverbs 12:20. So one who belittles others will, in the end, be the object of scorn. aside from the retribution that he will incur. The early commentators find an allusion to this in the verse, just as he inflicted a wound upon a person, so will be inflicted upon him. Vayikra, that's Leviticus 24:20. Moreover, by speaking Lashon Hara, one becomes an object of contempt, even in the eyes of his listener, who accepted his sinful words as truth. As the sages put it, false witnesses are contemptible, even in the eyes of those who harm them. So Sanhedrin 29a. And his listeners will forever suspect that he might one day speak ill of them.